Hi everybody, welcome back to this expert series on skin nutrition. So in this video we're going to look at another myth about omega-6. You may have noticed that omega-6 out of the 2 essential fatty acids seems to be the one that gets a lot of bad press, whereas everyone's so excited about the omega-3 family. And I just want to clear the air on that one because it actually has no basis in fact. So there's a little bit of history behind this. Back in the 1950s, it was discovered that the omega-6 family was amazing at looking after our hearts because it helped our bodies lower cholesterol levels. So of course everyone started using vegetable oils that were high in omega-6s. And we discussed in a previous video how we didn't get this quite right, and we started using very processed omega-6s, and we were exposing our vegetable oils to a lot of heat, and of course they're not stable in heat, and we were actually creating bad fats out of that. So we would have been better having good quality cold pressed omega-6 sources, or eating things like nuts and seeds, which are another good source of omega-6. But another thing happened. So in the 1980s, people thought, well, if omega-6 was good at looking after the heart, omega-3 must be even better because it contained more double bonds and the double bonds were closer to the end of the carbon chain. So they must be better. But in actual fact, when they did research on this, they found that that wasn't true, that omega-6s were still better at lowering cholesterol. But at the same time, it was discovered that people who ate a lot of oily fish and were getting a lot of EPA and DHA, which do belong to the omega-3 family, did have a lower risk of heart disease. And around the same time, it was also discovered that the omega-3 fats are always anti-inflammatory and anti-clotting, which are considered good for heart health, whereas the omega-6 did have this chance of going into the inflammation and clotting. So all of a sudden, omega-6s became the bad oil and omega-3s became the good oil. And there was even this idea that we were getting far too many 6s in our diet and we needed more 3s, and we needed to create some sort of optimum ratio of 3s to 6s in our diet. And again, there was no basis in fact for this. So it has always been known that omega-6 has been good for the heart, and it is also shown that it has anti-inflammatory properties, but this didn't seem to matter. And I can remember even when I was training in nutritional medicine, I was taught that omega-6s needed to be limited and omega-3s needed to be promoted. So we have even good people who are wellness experts and people who have been trained in nutrition telling us that we need to limit 6s and we need to eat more 3s. And actually that has now been refuted, and we now know that the healthiest populations have an abundance of both 6 and 3 in their diet, that there is no truth to the fact that omega-6s are inflammatory or bad for our heart, and in fact the exact opposite is true. So I just wanted to reassure you on that, and also there's a couple of scientific papers that I will link to this video that you can read for yourself, all about the information and the story behind this. So in the next video we'll look at what essential fatty acids are best for skin. So I'll see you there.